the Coolpix range is arguably Nikon's weakest asset. Well, not arguably, it is the weakest. Crap pics, in fact. But recently Nikon has been trying to change things by spicing up their range to try and put the cool back into the Coolpix. It's supposedly geared up for low light shooting, what with its backside illuminated 12 megapixel sensor and a maximum aperture of f1.8. It's also got 4.2 times zoom as well.
This is the Nikon P300, a camera that promises to offer a lot in a compact body. Could this be the saviour of the Coolpix range?
So obviously we've come out at night time to test out the capabilities of this camera.
The optical zoom gives you an equivalent focal range from a wide 24mm up to 100mm in a 135 format.
There you go. Big guy. It offers the photographer a bit more control, what with the P8SM mode here. And you've got dual control dials here. Although the problem is that it covers up half of your screen. How annoying. And the screen is really quite superb. Big and bright. 3-inch with 921,000 dots. Why don't I just use 2 of these to view the world through the LCD screens? That's all I need. Now this should be quite testing for the white balance. Even Locke doesn't know what preset to go for. Oh, there's no subjects. Where is everybody? There's a pleasant little performer. Focuses quite nicely. Now we can get a Lambie. She looks lost. And again. There you go. She should be in the Hong Kong Olympics team.
What?
Lovely. Or chocolate. Arguably one of the most interesting additions to this is full HD. This little camera has got 1080p video recording.
And the video quality is really quite decent, even at night. And certainly the optical stabilisation helps to keep things reasonably still.
But then you've got some really interesting frame rate options as well. As well as the bog old standard 30 frames per second, you've got 120 in VGA mode and 60 in 720p, as well as 15 frames per second in 1080p. Let's try that out for some really weird artisticness. See, this would probably be quite a good buy if this had never been invented.
Although both cameras are advertised in a similar fashion over here, they're both marketed as great night cameras, and they do this by blowing smoke up your memory card slot.
The styling of the Canon is just sleeker. When you look at a Nikon with this weird strip of rubber here, it doesn't look very nice, and when you put it in your hands, it just feels a bit cheap and tacky in comparison. I like this little twiddly dial on the Canon S95, whereas Nikon has opted for the top plate dial. The Nikon is just uglier, let's face it. And it's not only that. When you compare the startup times, oh no! That's ridiculously slow. Ooh, absolutely thrashed by the Canon. But it's not complete miserable failure on the Nikon's part. See, if you take the startup image off of the Nikon, it's kind of comparable. But the difference is not only external. The sensors are different in size. The Canon has the bigger sensor. And if you want to get shallow depth of field, well, you can't really get it on the compact camera. But this has a better chance of getting that bokeh. But you know, comparing the shallow depth of field with these two is just pointless, to be honest. I mean, they're compact cameras. If you want bokeh-licious photos, you should get a DSLR. But that's all twaddle. You can't get that kind of effect from these compact cameras. Let me show you. When you zoom it, the maximum aperture goes up. So now I can only get 3.7 here, which is not enough light for me.
Well, it's perfectly normal to film the ad in a beautifully cinematic way, but they try to trick people with a twaddle that the technology will allow them to get beautifully bokeh-licious night shots that look like they're cinematic stills.
Ready? I'm ready for you. So now we're going for wide angle to get the maximum aperture of f1.8. Let's see the fingers. When you use a wide angle, everything is in focus anyway. Okay, when you're ready.
Well, the fact is they are just screen caps from the video which was taken on the rather expensive equipment.
I had to bump up the ISO to 200, and with an aperture like f4.9 I could only get a maximum fast shutter speed of 20th of a second, which is not really fast enough.
Despite the misleading ads, the P300 really is a decent camera, with a reasonable amount of control, features, and noise performance for a compact camera. But if I was looking for a high-end compact, I would most definitely go for the Canon S95 first.
So to get good noise comparison shots, we really need stable shots of the same subject, and that doesn't help when the subject is jumping about. So we're going to take a picture of some bokeh. Here we go. Well, this is the only way I can get bokeh from these two cameras. Here we go.
The Nikon performs very nicely, although the larger sensor of the Canon is a bit cleaner at higher ISOs.
Thanks for watching, guys. Subscribe. Gonna go home now.